Well, hello, folks. Brother D here. Big D channel. I want to start here. Where do you start? There.
It's on Spotify. They do like the Beatles cover album. Okay. I like originals. And I'm thinking about writing more originals. It's not come up lately. That's what I like.
Why you gotta keep going on? God, this computer. Oh my goodness. Are you done?
So.
There you go.
That's beautiful. Nice little arpeggio, inside outside sort of thing. It's always or yeah, like slowly.
Yeah. The Hawaiian Music Channel. I think my fan's too loud. The Hawaiian Music Channel, Hawaiian Music Supply, this is called. They have some of the best ukuleleists that come through Hawaii or that were born and raised in Hawaii or still live in Hawaii or started off in Hawaii and moved around the world as ukuleleists. A lot of these people are creating albums. Some of the music that you hear on your playlists when you are listening to like YouTube music, if you want to just listen to island music on your phone or whatever, and you click on ukulele music or you click on ukulele soft music, relaxing music or whatever, a lot of the people that come on this show, these are those people. You wonder, where's this guy making albums at? Or where they're on this show. And some of them don't have complete albums. They just make, cuts. And what I want to talk about tonight is, well, here in Pittsburgh, it's hitting 3 a.m. in the morning. After we just had the fall clocks back, but this is the only way I like listening to ukulele music. I don't like listening to people getting on YouTube all the time teaching you how to play 3-chord strums with, teaching you how to play your favorite songs 3-chord strums. They don't do that with the guitar. You go to learn the guitar, they're going to teach you how to play guitar, plain and simple. It's not about, let me teach you how to play these 3 chords. You only need 3 chords for the song. No, they're not going to waste time like that. And the ukulele shouldn't be any different. The ukulele is just as much a serious instrument as the guitar. I get so sick and tired of, here it is, 2025. I've been in this since 2013. And every time I turn on YouTube and I click in ukulele, you get some guy trying to teach you how to play simple little child tunes or something on a ukulele, and we're all happy. The ukulele is past all that. It's past that. I get sick of that. Show me how to play serious stuff on a ukulele, not just little Skip to Maloo, Mary Had a Little Lamb songs and all that kind of junk. That's fine, but I've never learned guitar that way. I know how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb on the guitar. But that's not how I started off. I started off with Mel Bay Publishing, teaching you how to play typical folk music and advancing that into jazz and blues and things of that nature. And if they play, songs like My Wayfaring Stranger, not My Wayfaring Stranger, Wayfaring Stranger, that's a good tune that everybody knows how to play. Or, The Sailor's Pilot or whatever, however that goes. They taught you the authentic transcriptions to those songs. And it didn't matter if you was a child or an adult. You're playing the guitar here. We don't have time to play. Well, the ukulele should be treated with the same way. And in Hawaii, they don't waste their time like they do here in America. You see all these white people. I have to go to the color code because that's what it's all about. You see the way white people learn how to play the ukulele, they end up putting it down. Now I look up to people like Victoria Vox, who was doing something else, and then she learned that the ukulele would be the perfect instrument to take on the road with her to help her accompaniment herself and her singing when she would do the little clubs and parties and stuff around the world, okay? I look up to Jake Shimbakuro, who was taught how to play ukulele from his mom, okay? Same thing with Tamani Gardner, from her mom, in New Zealand before coming to Hawaii. And then I think she will move back to New Zealand. I'm not sure. But I don't know if she's living in Hawaii right now or not. I think she is. But she started off in New Zealand. And in New Zealand, that's one of the places where they take the ukulele very serious. And she said she wanted to learn how to play the ukulele as a way. When she got into the ukulele, she wanted to go out there and learn from the grown people, from the grandpas and grannies. That's how she got to where she's at. She didn't go out there and learn little children's tunes and all that stuff. She went straight to what she wanted to learn. Okay? And she learned from, her mom, and then she, and whoever else. Then I think she said she went to a ukulele master right there in Hawaii. And that's where she really began her start as really knowing what she's doing and really getting into Samoan, style, Spanish style, authentic music. And I just get weary when people don't play the ukulele like it's a serious instrument, because if it wasn't for Jake Shimbakuro, if it wasn't for Tamani Gardner, if it wasn't for this channel right here, the Hawaiian Music Supply, and if it wasn't for Brittany Paiva, and my favorite, this is where I really had my start. You know what really blessed me was Azita and Hanoka. Those were the ones that I used to love. I used to get up every day just a few years ago before Azita and Hanoka split up. Both of them went to college, but after college, or while in college, whichever way that is, one went back to playing the ukulele. That's Hanoka. Yeah. And Azita went some other direction. I like them better together because they had that chemistry on stage and all like that. And they're another one where you get on your phone and you plug in Hawaiian ukulele, or you plug in ukulele soft music or whatever. You're going to hear clips, whether it be recorded or from YouTube Music or whatever. You're going to hear clips of them two playing together. Okay, I don't know who this guy is. I just know his playing style is authentic. But it was Azita and Hanoko. Oh, and you know who my favorite inspirations is Bosco and Honey. The fact that they wrote together as a couple. They met through the ukulele, and they later on started writing songs together. And now they have albums out there. They have that album out there, The Universe Will Provide. And they are really, really, really good together. And they play, some of their stuff is comedy, but their comedy is authentic. They're not trying to be Tiny Tim or anything like that, make the ukulele a novelty instrument. They are playing authentic music that they wrote for the ukulele because of the skills that they have to play it. And these people have skills. If you listen to Bosco and Honey play, you realize that Bosco has skills when he plays the ukulele. He's not just getting up there playing it, like some of these teachers on YouTube here, trying to make it simple. Oh, the ukulele's so easy to play. It's easy to play if you ain't really trying to play anything. You just strumming. But if you're really, really trying to sound nice and play the instrument, to the maximum of what it really is, you're going to find out that it's a very, 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 very authentic instrument. It's no different, authentically than playing the guitar. Okay? It's very, 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 very authentic. If you play it the way it's meant to be played. And one of the things, too, is, Jim Beloff. I used to watch a lot of Jim. Jim Beloff is another inspiration of mine. I have his books in front of me. I bought another one of his books. Jim Beloff got me... Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep this from going to screensaver, and I made it go to screensaver. Jim Beloff... he's getting all over the place. I think even right now as we speak, he's much older now. I think somebody's still alive and everything. Because I just got one of his books, and I think it's recent. But I watched his. He did the one thing that you're not doing on YouTube. He took some of the stars of the ukulele and he made a video. I think it's called The Joy of Uke or something like that. Called The Joy of Uke, I think. And you can look this up under his name, Jim Beloff, Beloff. He has two parts to Joy of Uke. And he has several people get on his channel and play some of their stuff. Some of it's folk, some of it's rock. Some of it has a little bit of jazz or blues in it, depending on who he's jamming with. But it has two parts. Also, The Mighty Uke has two parts. Jim Beloff, I think he's one of the main editors of that video as well. He's on there. And this is what really, really inspired me. And at the end of the video, you'll see Tamani Gardner get on there and talk about authentic ukulele versus, over here in the States, we might call ukulele instead of ukulele the way it's spelled, okay, or the way it's pronounced. It's ukulele, not ukulele, dude. It's ukulele. And she talks about how, her testimony, and she starts off playing this real authentic chord melody thing that she created. It's probably strictly for that video. I don't know, but she played it, and it was a lot of tremolo, a lot of first and second string, up and down the complete neck of the ukulele. Very authentic, work of art there. And she sounded so good, and she gave her testimony in this video about how she went from learning how to play from her mom. I believe it was her mom. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you know Tamani and I'm wrong, let me know. But I'm pretty sure she said she learned from her mom. So did Jake Shimokuro. She started off learning from her mom. Then her mom sent her to a professional Hawaiian ukuleleist that really taught her the other way. Another inspiration of mine is Kimo Hussey. Kimo Hussey. Now, I hope he's still alive. I haven't seen any of his videos lately. And whenever I click on Kimo Hussey, I get older videos. I don't get nothing new lately. But Kimo Hussey is another authentic hero of mine. He's like to me, he's like the BB King of the ukulele. He has his hit little tunes that he has played better than anybody else, and people know him for that. But when he plays the ukulele, he plays it with such precise respect, and he understands the Hawaiian Portuguese tradition of the instrument. And when he plays it, he talks about that every single time he touches a ukulele. He talks about his upbringing, respect for the ukulele, and he plays tunes that, you can look at his fingers as he's playing, and you can see how he makes a song sound so authentic. With the chord melody, you have to learn chord melody if you're going to play the uke and really want it to stand out. You got to learn chord melody, which I'm in the process of learning as well. But Kimo Hussey, Hussey, is a master at chord melody. He's a master at it, and he's another inspiration of mine. He's an old man, but he's one of my biggest inspirations. Bosco and Honey, Taimani, Hanoko, and Azita, Jake Shimokuro. I'm not a big fan of Brittany Paiva, but she is an inspiration with the way she does things. And there's other people, and they're all either in Hawaii or had their start in Hawaii. And one, I can't mention his name, but he's one of my biggest inspirations as far as plugging the ukulele up and doing other things with it than Hawaiian music and things of that nature. I can't pronounce his name. I don't want to embarrass myself trying to pronounce his last name. But I listen to him every day on my playlist. But I'm going to let this guy play for a little bit. And then I'm going to say a couple other things and I'll be done. At the end of this video, he gets into a really nice little closing solo. And as you'll see, he's got let me find them here. He's got Corey. There they are there. Here they are here. He's got Corey Fujimoto with him. Now Corey, he knows how to play anything that is originated in Hawaii. He knows how to play guitar, he knows how to play guitarlele, and he knows how to play ukulele. Okay? So, he's a master at Hawaiian music. He's a master at chord melody. Okay? He's a master at it. And I think him and Kaylee, which is another member of this channel here, I think they both teach as well as write songs and make singles, and maybe they have some albums out there. I don't know. I really love them together. I only see them play together on this show right here. I never see them play together outside of the podcast, but they're always playing together. But here, Corey's playing with this guy. So I guess I guess Kaylee gets a day off. But anyway, I'm going to let this guy play his little solo. Here, he gets into this new solo. And I'm going to let it play from here. Okay? And please leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think.
Anyways, I was thinking about doing just that's beautiful, nice little arpeggio, inside outside sort of thing. It's always or yeah, like a slowly meandering, harmonically shifting arpeggio.
I love that sort of like ambient landscape kind of.
Yeah. Some of that's the way I'll actually warm up is just sort of composing things like that. A lot of times I don't know if you do the same sort of thing, noodling.
Yeah.
Right? But it's a really great way just to improvise and say work on, coming up with a scale pattern or something, or a little motive you like, and then embellishing on that.
One more thing I want to mention here too, when we talk about authentic ukulele music, is if you don't have a low G ukulele. Now, most of y'all, if you're really into the ukulele, are going to have more than one. You're going to have a concert, tenor, soprano. One of the three, you're going to have one, and then one of the other ones, you're going to either have a tenor, like I have here. I have my my soprano right here. I'm giving my concert away. The concert that I have, I'm not really impressed with. I'm going to give it to one of my grandkids. But I have my soprano here, which is a brand new state-of-art type of soprano. And I like the way it sounds for a very inexpensive price. You got to be really careful when you buy sopranos, because they're the cheapest ukulele if you're not careful, and they have the most plucky sound, and they can really sound like a toy if you're not careful. This one I have does not sound like a toy, because it is, even though it's cheap in price, it's made for professionals. It has the side port on it, and it has a blocked-in sound, because the outer sound hole is really small. So that kind of muffles the sound a little bit, so it's not as plucky as most sopranos do. So we start with soprano, which has the most pluckiest sound. It can sound like a toy, depending on how much you spent on the soprano and what kind of soprano you get. It can sound like a toy. For example, if you get a Martin soprano, it's going to sound like one of the best things you ever heard. It's going to sound like, a guitar or something, okay? Depending on what you're playing. But if you get some of these El Cheapo, sopranos, it's going to sound, the concert. Now, that concert I got over there that I'm giving away to my grandkid, one of my grandkids, I have 6, but one of my youngest one, I'm going to give that to her. It's a concert. I've decided that I'm not a concert freak. And I've had my hands on some very nice concerts. That's not one of them. But it's what is it? What is that? Komoto. Who's the name? Hold on a second. Oh, Cadorba. Cadorba. It's a Spanish ukulele company that is rising, and they're making the bucks. They're known to make a lot of satin finishes like this one I have, and they're known to, they also make guitars and acoustic guitars. Most of their instruments are all acoustic. Guitars, ukuleles, they might throw some mandolins in there, I'm not sure, but Cordoba is a company that is expanding and growing right now as we speak. But I'm just not impressed with that particular concert ukulele. But I am impressed with all tenors. I've never played a tenor I didn't like. However, I've played tenors that don't sound as good as the cheap tenor that I've had. I've played more expensive tenors that don't sound as good as the tenor that I have. Now, this one here I have is Gretsch. I think Gretsch is an American company, but when I bought one of my daughters a Fender tenor ukulele years ago. It did not sound like that Gretsch that I have. It sounded a little bit, I don't know, it didn't have that Hawaiian sound to it. It didn't have that authentic sound to it. When you strum it, it sounded like a half-size guitar or something. I mean, it was nice. I think it had a nice clear sound, but there was just something missing. I don't think they really cared about the tradition when they put that Fender uke together. But how many people do you know that have a Fender uke? My daughter's got to be the first one that I know that owns a Fender uke. Okay, this soprano is a Mahai, and a Mahai is another company that's expanding. I have like 3 items right here under the table that are a Mahai. I have this ukulele. I have my grandson's drums, and I have another item under here that's a Mahai. I forget what it is. But a Mahai is making a wide range of instruments, not just ukuleles, but everything they make is small, whether it be drums, ukuleles, or whatever it is. It's all small stuff. But I just wanted to throw that in there. You need to know, if you're going to get a soprano ukulele, I would spend even more money than you would spend on a tenor ukulele, which is the largest of the same tuning. Okay, if you're going to go soprano, I would go for a really good soprano. Know what your ukulele is supposed to sound like, and see if that soprano meets the sound that you're looking for before you buy it. Don't just buy it online. Go to some place where they'll, like I didn't know I would ever get a soprano, and I saw this in a music store, and I said, that is not a toy. That is not for a kid, because I know that Kimo Hussey demonstrated ukuleles like this for bigger companies like J. Lee Ritchie and stuff like that, and they sound phenomenal. I mean, they sound awesome. And so I was plucking it around in the store after I got a good tuning. I was like, I should get this for one of my kids, but from one of my grandkids, but no, I'm gonna get this for myself. And so I got it for myself because that is not a toy. It has a very, 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 I don't know how good in tune it is, but it stays in tune pretty good. Now right away I just put a low G on my tenor again. This sounds very nice to me. It's still more plucky than my tenor, but especially the open chorus, but you go from this. And it has a very, 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 very nice sound to it for a inexpensive soprano. And there's a difference between playing low G and high G. You can go and you can order low G strings online and put them on your uke. If you have more than one uke, I will put them on your tenor. Put a low G on your tenor just to experiment. But when you really, really want a good, clean pop sound when you're playing, you're talking low G. The high G is for everything. Okay? But when you're talking pop and blues, that low G is going to give you more of a natural, expected sound when you're playing in between those chords and all like that. I've seen people here on YouTube play blues on the ukulele with a high G, and I'm like, thumbs down. And then I've seen people play blues and jazz with a low G, and it sounds very more authentic, believe it or not. Even in a Hawaiian vein, it sounds even more authentic. So there's that. Let me let this guy finish. I don't want to make this a long video.
Well, one of the things that I like to do when I'm warming up or really trying to just sit and think about the ukulele is campanella scales and this idea. One of my favorite places as a starting point is just using the note F here on the 5th fret, 3rd string. And the reason that's great is because if you play starting on E and then go upwards there, we have the notes E, F, G. And then the 1st string A, which finishes the circuit there. But now we're really now we're cooking because now we have a nice fragment, right? E, F, G, A. Ooh, no missing notes, right? So backwards. Forward, backward. Moving that up. Beyond that, it's nice because say, okay, A, G, F, E, F, E, what's next? D. So, now from A, B, C, maybe next, A, so then B, grab here, and C, grab there. So they're on G, A, B, C. About that when moving through chords, maybe trying to go from, say, an F chord to a C chord. Back to the F chord.
spend forever trying to get it clean like that.
Yeah, so I spend a lot of time thinking, especially when arranging, about how chords can connect using these little campanella fragments. Not only like in first position, we know one that everybody's familiar with is. I think a lot of ukulele players know that one. They don't realize that it's a campanella fragment. So you're playing B, A, and then G, and then F, E. But if you take that pattern and move it up, so instead of B, A, now we do C, B. And then instead of F, E, do G, F. And then instead of G, now we have the A note. And so I'll just practice those sort of things, think about how these different patterns can move. Sometimes that will inspire a song or something, a melody, right, an arrangement, things like that. Yeah, so, but, always trying to practice with music in mind, thinking that, even if I'm just noodling, it's a chance to think about the instrument, get used to the fingerboard, think more about ways to navigate through harmony, through scales, voice leading, connecting chords, different ways, right, going from an E minor to a B7, thinking like, well, how many ways can I really do that, right? E minor to B7, or can I do like yeah.
Before I forget, I want to tell all the people that come to this channel that look at any of my content, I want to tell you that Fred Socolow has a fretboard roadmaps. Now, fretboard roadmaps is one of the best things that Fred Socolow ever sold. I have not only two main Fred Socolow roadmap editions for the guitar at my disposal, but I also have a whole line of Fred Socolow fretboard roadmaps material for the guitar and blues, rock, and jazz, and other blues books by Fred Socolow. Fred Socolow is my teacher. He's my guitar teacher. I also have the Fred Socolow Jim Beloff fretboard roadmaps for the ukulele, the tenor ukulele, and as well as Fred Socolow for the baritone ukulele. These books are amazing because they're all about mainly the chords and getting the chords together to play your favorite songs, and both books teach you about chord melody, which is very important for the ukulele. They teach you how the baritone and the tenor differ, and how you can transpose from one ukulele to the other. They teach you things like the cycle of fifths. They teach you how to invert chords, and then they teach you your major scales and your pentatonic scales, and it's really good material. Now I don't advise anyone to start off with Fred Socolow, but because his material, Fred Socolow doesn't do a lot of material for beginners. He does material for intermediate, and that includes both the ukulele and the guitar. When I met Fred Socolow, I was kind of intermediate anyway, because I had learned a lot of my stuff off of Mel Bay. And so I was really ready for what Fred Socolow was teaching the improvisational teachings of playing the electric guitar and that. But now he's also, in his older years, he's now really getting into the ukulele. And I recently went to his his website and found out that he is piling up on the ukulele books. So we got Fred Sokolow joining with Jim Beloff. Everybody knows Jim Beloff. He's a white man that went Hawaiian, okay? Jim Beloff and Fred Sokolow getting together doing this amazing job with fretboard road maps for the ukulele. Awesome. Check that out. And again, Jim Beloff and both Fred Sokolow are really, two good inspirators, two very, very good artists. Fred Sokolow has his own band, or had his own band, called the Limelighters. Everybody knew the Limelighters. I didn't. But he started off having his own band and playing in other bands. I mean, he played for a lot of different musicians, in the background, a lot of popular musicians. But in his older years, he has, I guess, wanted to give his arms and fingers a break from the guitar and really get into the ukulele as far as teaching. Now, he does still have some recent teachings for the acoustic guitar, but I have material of his that I'm still working on that's younger. But I just wanted to throw that out before I forget. Throw that out there to you. Jim Beloff and Fred Sokolow, fretboard road maps for the ukulele. Check it out. Look it up online. If you are like me, where you learn your best stuff from books. I don't learn my best stuff from watching YouTube. I learn my best stuff from books, and then I get more inspiration from watching YouTube and that. But all the books that I've had, where Jim Beloff was one of the editors, or whether he was just somebody, there's, what's the other word? There's editors, and then there's another word that he, where people are in there giving reviews and that on the book and all like that. Every book that I have and have had on the ukulele is not the way they do it on YouTube. They get you on YouTube and say, I'm going to show you 3 chords, how to play these 3 songs, and some of these guys, sound like, brother, you need to go visit Hawaii and sit down with Jake Shimokuro or something and learn how to play some ukulele. And speaking of Jake Shimokuro, I have his book. I think he only has one out there. Then again, he might have 2. Tamani Gardner has books out there too. I don't get her books because I don't think she plays in GCEA tuning. Not on all her ukuleles anyway, and I think in some of her books she does not play in GCEA tuning. I like to stay within GCEA tuning. James Hill has some books out there. James Hill is the guy that is known. It's made him a star. He's played Billie Jean, Michael Jackson tunes on the ukulele, and it's made him a star. And he's not just playing, the tune. He's doing all kinds of things to the tune with the ukulele, doing a whole bunch of different things at a time. This is what made him a star. Just doing Michael Jackson stuff on a ukulele better than any other artist out there, especially guitar artists. And there's a lot out there. What I'm saying, my point of all this is there's a lot out there that you can learn where the ukulele stays authentic. First of all, you should be buying material for the ukulele, not just watching YouTube. That might work with some instruments, like I think when it comes to mandolins and stuff in the mandolin family, you can learn a lot on YouTube. But when it comes to the ukulele, it's like learning how to make, quick pizza. Learn how to make a quick, inexpensive pizza, or learn how to make, oodles and noodles or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't really teach you. Sure, they might teach you 3 chords and teach you some strums, but you know what I'm saying? You're not going to find satisfaction. If you're like me, where the minute you met the ukulele, you wanted to prove, the minute I met it, I wanted to prove that it's not just about Tiny Tim or you know, going back in the day of the old movies where they throw a ukulele in there for laughs or whatever. It's not just a novelty instrument. It's not just a toy. It's just like the guitar, just like the mandolin, the mandocello. You know, it's an instrument to either play perfectly fine by itself or with a band. You know, it's an authentic instrument. It's not a toy. It's not a novelty. It's music, and it's chromatic. Now, mandolins aren't necessarily chromatic. The Merlin is not necessarily chromatic. Okay? The dulcimer is not necessarily chromatic. You can get it chromatic, but the average authoritative dulcimer is not chromatic. The ukulele is chromatic. That makes it authentic. You can play the same chords that you play on the guitar. You can play them on the ukulele, and whether high G or low G, they're going to knock the guitar out of the park because they're going to sound totally different. And they're going to take you to a different channel. You can play the same music, blues, rock, jazz, all like that, but it's going to be a different type of jazz. It's going to be a different type of rock. It's going to be a different type of blues. Because, first of all, that high G string, and number 2, because it's the ukulele. It sounds different, it feels different. The chords are easier to play, yes, but that doesn't make them less authentic. They're still, you know, I mean, and that's my thing with the ukulele is that, you know, I can just sit down and play it and it keeps me musical. Whereas when I play the guitar, I will admit, I have to really, really, really think about, you know, who's my guitar teacher today, you know. But I think you should have the same attitude about the ukulele. Who's your ukulele teacher today? What are you playing that's going to help you move forward and play better things, play more authentic things? Okay, anybody that just wants to just learn 3 chords so that they can play 100 songs, I really don't take you seriously. And I think you're going to put it down and collect dust, and you're probably going to give it to your little brother, your niece, your nephew, or your grandchild. Okay? Everything that I have, that I give away, I've played it and made sure that it would work for my grandkids, like it worked for me before I gave it away. And other instruments that I gave away to other people, I made sure they were in good running condition, and I made sure I could play them to my heart's content as well. Okay? Just wanted you to learn that. Let me let them finish. That's the last time I'm going to interrupt.
Oh yeah, the Demolished.
Demolished. Is that actually the name?
No. Yeah. To be demolished. To be altered, I think is what they call it, yeah.
Should be the name, right?
Sharp 9, flat 9. Shall we,
I wonder if I put 90s music in the title, how much thumbs down I'll get for not enough 90s music happening.
Sublime? Yeah. Or 90s. I was thinking, the reason I played, when I first learned Santeria was freshman in high school, so that would have been 96. Pre-YouTube, I think CDs were brand new, so I was really stoked that I could actually press rewind and see the second mark, and so you knew in a solo, like, oh, I need work at 1 minute 47 seconds is where that tricky note is. Before that, it was a guessing game with cassette tapes, like rewinding. So even worse with LP or something. I don't even know like how you. I don't know, just that groove is the one. Like, maybe that's more accurate actually. But there you go.
Yeah, man. I used to blast this in my. I think it might have still been because. Nah, I think I had a CD player in my car. But yeah, that mostly 40 ounces to freedom. Are you still?
Oh yeah, man. That was such a good one. Oh.
All right, let's see what you got here. Sublime, 96.
That string. Check out those harmonics. Folks, I don't know about you, but that's where I want to be. I don't want to just learn how to, I know how to play guitar, and I know, a little bit about playing the electric keyboard and stuff like that. I've played drums for a while in my life. I've played the electric keyboard. Without knowing how to play it, I knew how to improvise. I knew how to find my way around the electric keyboard and find a scale and improvise, but I really never learned the keyboard. But when someone mentioned the guitar to me, I remembered as a young child hearing B.B. King and Jimi Hendrix for the first time, not knowing that they were B.B. King, not knowing that that was Jimi Hendrix. I just was like, who is that? And I remember when someone realized, someone told me that, well, if the keyboards is hard for you, maybe you should learn how to play the guitar. That's a nice instrument to have around the house. And I said, have it around the house, I'm going to learn how to play it. So I got and I skipped the acoustic. I got the acoustic later. My first guitar was an electric guitar, and I began to play it. And if it wasn't for that electric guitar, I think that I wouldn't really like the guitar that much today. I would buy acoustic guitars, real cheap, for whatever I can get for them, just thinking that, you should learn the acoustic first, like some people say, and then slide into the electric. But even here on YouTube, a lot of electric guitar players will tell you that is not the truth. It's the same way with the ukulele. You don't need to learn the ukulele to advance to the guitar, or play another instrument to advance to the ukulele. You don't need to do that. You want to learn how to play ukulele, learn how to play ukulele, learn how to play the chords, the scales, and put it all together. Don't waste your time and learn how to play little children's songs on a ukulele if you're not a child. Learn how to play what it is that you want to learn. This is what makes me want to play the ukulele. Okay? But I'll show you. I will show you right here. If I go to my screening, okay, and I say, and I just type in the word ukulele, okay, watch what comes up. Okay, we get, now there's Tamani Gardner, but you get a guy teaching you how to play a simple chord like the A chord. When a guitarist meets a ukulele player, this guy's trying to be funny. Okay, this guy's playing a child soprano uke. Okay, he's doing reggae strumming. Okay, if that teaches you. Okay, then it's like, oh, stand by me, ukulele, play along, and everybody's trying to teach you how to play simple stuff. Okay, but you're never learning where we were just at. You're never learning this.
Maybe
you're not learning this.
That's a good one. So did we do that one?
So you're not learning this. You're learning that stuff. That is not this. And that's not the way these guys learn. These guys learn by going straight to what they in their mind vision themselves playing. And that's where they went, and that's how they got to where they're at. Okay? And even in my own life, I'm not trying to brag. I took my ukulele to church, and they thought that, oh, he's only got 4 strings and they're nylon, and he just got into this. What's he going to play? They thought I was going to get up there and do some plucking and smacking, and it was going to sound like me popping gum. No. I put those songs together, or I wouldn't get on the stage. I put them songs together. I designed them for the ukulele, separate from what I do on the guitar. I syncopated them for my tenor ukulele, for my guitarlele, and so on. And I got up there and played them, and people were impressed. And I got, people were so glad to see me, so glad for me to play. Why? Because I did not get up there and treat the ukulele like it was a novelty instrument, or it was it was inferior. That's the word, inferior to the guitar. I got up there playing it like, look out, here I come. Okay, I'm going to blow your mind. And I played it with my heart and my passion for the ukulele. I played it getting the most out of those 4 nylon strings that I could get out of them, according to what I had practiced, according within the limits of sounding authentic. Okay? So there you have it. That's my video tonight, folks. Thank you for watching. I don't even know what I'm going to call this video. I'm going to call it something. But there you have it. I will talk to you guys later with more on this channel. And if there's something you want to talk about, if you want to talk about low G, high G, if you want to talk about the different sizes of the, first of all, I have plenty of videos. If you stroll down, you'll see I got plenty of videos on those topics. But this is probably about the third video I did on the ukulele, taking the ukulele seriously. And I think that's what I'm gonna call this, taking the ukulele serious again. That's what I'm gonna call it, taking the ukulele serious again, because they took it seriously when it came over to Hawaii from Portuguese. Now YouTube generation has come, and we're back to making the ukulele, just some little plucky thing to keep your fingers moving in case you got stress or something. No, it's an authentic instrument, and that's what you need to treat it like this guy right here did. He talked for what is this? 50 minutes, almost 60 minutes, for almost an hour. Well, yeah, almost an hour. He talked about, how he became authentic. You can go watch this video if you want to. Hawaiian Music Supply, they're one of my favorites. I watch them every day. I love these guys because they only play authentic music on here. They play something, from the States, they play some rock and roll or some jazz or some blues. If they play Mary Had a Little Lamb, it's not going to be the Mary Had a Little Lamb that you're used to. It's going to be a very authentic Mary Had a Little Lamb. And it's just, I just love these guys. Corey, Kaylee, and their special guests, and the other guy, the guy with the facial hair that runs the show. I forget what his name is. And they've had every authentic player on here. They had Billie Eilish on here, I think. Pretty sure they had Billie Eilish on here once. They had Taimani. They had Paiva. They had Jim Shimakura on here. They've had everybody on here. They've had Aldrin. I watched a video last week. They had Aldrin on here. Aldrin from Ukulele Underground. He's another one of my favorite. He's an authentic player. Another one who learned how to play the ukulele from his mom. But then he got out there. His goal was to beat his mom at playing the ukulele. That's how it's done. He had to master his mom. He had to beat his mom. Okay. He had to beat his mom. Let me get out of here. Talk to you guys in a little while. God bless. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Share this channel with others. God bless.